After working through application control, application patching, macro controls, application hardening, and restricting administrative privileges, you now arrive at something that quietly underpins everything you have built so far: the operating system. The operating system sits beneath every application, every user session, and every security control. If it is vulnerable, attackers can bypass protections that would otherwise stop them. This is why operating system patching is not background IT work. It is a foundational security discipline that determines whether all other controls can actually hold when an attack occurs. The Australian Cybersecurity Centre consistently observes that attackers place high value on operating system vulnerabilities because they provide leverage. These flaws are often used for privilege escalation, remote code execution, or bypassing safeguards quietly rather than making noise. To understand why this strategy matters, you need to understand exploitation timelines. When a serious operating system vulnerability is disclosed, a predictable pattern follows. Technical details become public. Proof of concept code appears. Exploit tools are updated. Automated scanning begins. This entire cycle can unfold in days and sometimes even hours. Attackers do not need to target you specifically. They simply scan for systems that have not kept pace. Organizations that patch early are often unaffected. Organizations that delay become visible targets simply because they are exposed. This is an important mindset shift. Delaying an operating system patch is not a neutral decision. It is a conscious acceptance of increasing risk over time. Patch cadence is not about reacting instantly to every vulnerability. It is about establishing a predictable rhythm for updates, with clear ownership and accountability. When patching follows a cadence, it stops being disruptive and starts being expected. Teams plan for it. Users accept it. Leaders understand that patching is part of operating safely, not an emergency response. Without cadence, patching becomes reactive. Decisions are made under pressure, exceptions accumulate, and risk quietly grows. Cadence replaces chaos with control. Not all systems carry the same level of risk, and not all vulnerabilities have the same impact. Internet-facing systems, devices used by administrators, and systems handling sensitive or critical data should always receive priority. This is not about treating everything as urgent. It is about aligning patch urgency with likelihood and consequence. Risk-based prioritization allows you to focus effort where it matters most, rather than spreading resources thinly or delaying action because everything feels equally important. One of the most common reasons organizations delay operating system patches is fear of downtime. Operating system updates often require restarts, and restarts interrupt services. This creates tension between security and availability. It is important to recognize that downtime is not a failure of patching. It is a planning challenge. Maintenance windows, redundancy, failover capability, and clear communication all reduce the operational impact of patching. When systems are designed with patching in mind, updates become manageable events rather than disruptive surprises. Some systems genuinely cannot tolerate frequent interruptions. These environments require careful handling, but they do not remove responsibility. In these cases, patching decisions must be deliberate, documented, and visible to leadership. Avoidance is not a strategy. This is where exceptions exist, not to ignore risk, but to manage it transparently. Critical systems should trigger stronger governance, not weaker controls. When patches cannot be applied immediately, organizations rely on compensating controls to reduce exposure. These may include network isolation, restricting access, disabling unnecessary services, increasing monitoring, or limiting system functionality. Compensating controls buy time, but they do not remove the vulnerability itself. A common failure occurs when exceptions quietly become permanent. Over time, temporary decisions fade into normal operations, and unpatched systems persist for years. This is not a technical issue, it is a governance failure. Mature organizations review exceptions regularly and make conscious decisions about remediation, replacement, or retirement. Operating system patching strengthens everything you have already learned. Application control limits what can run. Application patching removes known weaknesses. Macro controls and hardening reduce attack surface. Privilege restriction limits escalation. Operating system patching ensures attackers cannot break the rules entirely by exploiting the platform underneath. Without it, every other control becomes easier to bypass. By the end of this lecture, you should see operating system patching as foundational security assurance, not routine maintenance. It is one of the clearest indicators of whether an organization manages cyber risk deliberately or reactively. Strong patching discipline signals maturity, accountability, and resilience. In the next lecture, you will move from systems to identities by exploring Strategy 7, Multi-factor authentication, where you will see how stolen credentials remain one of the most reliable attack tools and how adding a second factor changes the balance entirely. If this lecture helped you see operating system patching with more clarity and confidence, please subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share your thoughts in the comments. This is a free educational channel and it costs you nothing, but your subscription and engagement genuinely make a difference. They help keep this channel running and support the creation of clear, practical cybersecurity education for everyone.